Hi class, today we have another lesson. It is found in Swun 1-6. It's subtract multi-digit numbers. Our learning goal for today is I will subtract multi-digit numbers. We have some similar vocabulary and some new vocabulary. So our first vocabulary word is whole number, and that's just our counting numbers. And that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Okay, our next vocabulary word is digit. Any single number from 0 to 10. So again, a digit is any one of those numbers, like 5, 4, 3. Any of those could be digits. Minuend, this is a new one. This is the number you are taking from. In a subtraction problem, you start with like 54 minus 3 equals 251. This 54, that's your minuend. Okay, the subtrahend is the number you are taking away. So the 3, that's how many you're taking away. That's the subtrahend. And then finally is the difference. That's the answer to a subtraction problem. And our difference would be 51. Okay, our only notes for today is to use the standard algorithm to subtract multi-digit numbers. And just like this is our standard algorithm. So step number 1 is set up in vertical format or working format. That's just the way we normally solve our subtraction problems. So vertically means up and down. So I would set up this problem 54 minus 3. And remember, we line up the ones place. Okay, step number 2 would be to solve. And then step number 3 would be check your work with addition. So if I was to solve this, I would go 4 minus 3 is 1, 5 minus nothing is 5, and then to check with addition, I would take my difference. So to check, you would take your difference plus your subtrahend plus that 3. 3 plus 1 is 4, 5 plus nothing is 5, and you would get your answer, which is the minuend, and that if you end up with the same number that you started with, then you have the correct answer. So again, to check your work with addition, you just work backwards. So notice that to check my work, 51, then I went up, so then plus 3, and then I have my answer. Work backwards. Okay, I'm getting out my red pen, so you're pausing, you're watching. My first input model is 32,604 minus 21,218. So step number 1 says set it up vertically. So I have 32,604 minus 21,218. I lined up my ones place. Now it says to solve. So I always start from the ones place. And if I am taking away, so my subtrahend is 8 and I'm taking away 4, I can't take 8 away from 4, so I need to go over one place value to borrow. There's nothing to borrow from, so I go over another place value. So I'm going to borrow from that 6. It becomes a 5. I give 10 to this place value. So I'm giving it 10. Now I can take one of those 10 and it becomes a 9. So this 4 now becomes a 14. Now I can subtract. 14 minus 8 is 6. And then I go over a place value. 9 minus 1 is 8. 5 minus 2 is 3. 2 minus 1 is 1. 3 minus 2 is 1. Okay, so I've solved it. Now I'm going to check my work. So I take this one, 11,386, plus my subtrahend, I'm going to work backwards, go up, 21,218. 6 plus 8 is 14. 1 plus 8 is 9, plus 1 is 10. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 2 is 6. 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. And this number should be what we started with, 32,604. So I've checked my work. So my answer is what we subtracted. And it's the answer for my subtraction problem, so it is the difference. Okay? We have one more example problem. So it says a movie theater sold 101,073 tickets on Friday. On Saturday, they sold 230,872 tickets. How many more? That tells me that it's subtraction. How many more tickets were sold on Saturday than on Friday? So let's set it up vertically. Step number 1, 230,872 minus 101,073. So I'm taking 3 away from 2. Can't do that, so I need to borrow. So I cross off the 7, it becomes a 6. This 2 becomes a 12. So 12 minus 3 is 9. 6 minus 7. I can't take 7 away from 6, so I need to borrow. So this 8 becomes a 7. 16 minus 7 is 9. 7 minus 0 is 7. 0 minus 1, I can't take 1 away from the 0, so I need to borrow. So that 3 becomes a 2. This 0 becomes a 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. 2 minus 0 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. So this is my difference. So that's going to be the answer, but I need to check my work using addition. So I'm going to have 129,799 plus 101,073. 9 plus 3 is 12. 1 plus 9 is 10, plus 7 is 17. 1 plus 7 is 8. 1 plus 9 is 10. Carry my 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. 1 plus 1 is 2. So this is what I should have started with. Let's come up here and check. 230,872. So my work is checked. This is the correct answer. Okay, I'm getting out my green pen so you're following along. Okay, first step, set it up vertically. 723,002 minus 418,292. Now I'm solving. 2 minus 2 is 0. 0 minus 9, can't take 9 away from 0, so I need to borrow. You can't take a bigger number away from a smaller number. Okay, so I borrow from that 3, it becomes a 2. This 0 becomes a 10, but then we're going to borrow, so that becomes a 9. So this 0 becomes a 10. So now I have 10 minus 9 is 1. 9 minus 2 is 7. 2 minus 8. 8 is bigger than 2. I can't do it, so I need to borrow. So that 2 becomes a 1. This 2 becomes 12. So 12 minus 8 is 4. And then I have 1 minus 1 is 0. 7 minus 4 is 3. So I have my difference is 304,710. And let's just double check by adding the difference in the subtrahend together. So 304,710 plus 418,292. Okay, 0 plus 2 is 2. 1 plus 9 is 10. Carry my 1. 1 plus 7 is 8. Plus 2 is 10. 1 plus 4 is 5. Plus 8 is 13. Carry my 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 3 plus 4 is 7. So let's double check. Is this what I started with? 723,002. It is correct. So I've checked my work. So my difference is 304,710. Okay, we have one more problem, and then you'll have a few practice problems. Airline A tracked the flights of 3,700 planes. Airline B tracked the flights of 1,592 planes. How many more? Sorry, that just tells me subtraction. How many more flights did airline A track than airline B? So 3,700, I'm setting it up vertically, that's step number 1, minus 1,592, and now I'm solving. 2 minus 0. I can't say it's 2, I can't flip the order. I have to borrow if this subtrahend is bigger than the minuend. So I need to go over to the 7, that becomes a 6, this 0 becomes a 10, and then I'm going to borrow one of those, so now that becomes a 9. So I have 10 here, 10 in my ones place, so 10 minus 2 is 8. I know it might be a little hard to see, but this 9, this is what we have in the tens place right now, so we have 9 minus 9, which is 0. Then we have 6 minus 5, which is 1, and then 3 minus 1, which is 2. Okay, so now I have to check my work with addition, so work backwards. So 2,108 plus 1,592. 8 plus 2 is 10. Carry my 1. 1 plus 9 is 10. Carry my 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Plus 5 is 7. 2 plus 1 is 3. So I have 3,700. That is what we started with right here, or it might be harder to see, so I could check it right there. So my answer is the difference, 2,108. On these problems, it'll be really nice if you can show your check marks and you're circling your difference. So circle your answer and make sure it looks just like this. So I should see it at 2 problems because one's for checking your work. Okay, you now have 2 practice problems and rate your understanding. Have a wonderful evening.